This is my career investigation project for November 6, 2018. I chose to do it on law enforcement and policing, more specifically law enforcement and policing in the state of Illinois. The average police officer in Illinois makes around $70,850. As you can see from the picture on the right, that's typically a lot higher than most other states, and that is typically because Illinois has a higher propensity for crime, therefore the salary is higher for law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers also have great benefits as far as healthcare and retirement packages, especially in Illinois, for the same reasons as I stated earlier. The duties and the policy within law enforcement and police officers is to protect and serve the people and property of the state. They issue citations, they make arrests, they enforce state statutes, which are considered laws, and they appear in court cases if needed. There are other policing units, however. This is department dependent, so some departments may not have these, other departments may. These are items such as SWAT, K9, gang units or drug units, or investigations is another big one. And off to the right is actually my dad with his K9 unit dog in the late 80s, early 90s. The education, again, is department dependent. Some departments may say that you need a 4-year degree. It's recommended. They won't look at you unless you have one. Other departments, such as my hometown, only require a high school graduate or GED equivalent. You must be 21 years of older, or 21 years of age or older, no felony convictions, be a U.S. citizen, and you must live within the city that you're applying. Again, that's department dependent. It may change, but this is the typical standard hiring requirements in Illinois. My informational interview was on Officer Cole Ferguson. He is a first-year police officer for the Naperville Police Department, and I chose to interview him for a few reasons. He's a newer police officer, so he just got out of the academy, so a lot of my questions are based around that. He's also, as I said earlier, a newer recruit, so I typically wanted to find answers from someone who's newer, as I was going to be a new police officer soon as well. I asked 15 questions to Officer Ferguson, but I chose the best 5 to talk about. The first one was, what is the most difficult aspect of your job? He responded with dealing with some of the people, some of the crazy people, and some of the people who aren't meant to be right, and dealing with them can be a challenge sometimes. The second question I asked was, what is the most rewarding aspect of your job? And he said when people come up to him and just say thanks for what he and his fellow officers do and how it really helps them, and it just feels good to serve the community. The third question was, what is your daily routine? He answered with, he typically gets there 45 minutes to an hour early. He looks at the call list. He runs over the criminal code. So for example, if he made an arrest the day before, his field training officer may ask him to look at the state statutes and the criminal code involved with that arrest. He's going to print off reports if he didn't the day before. Then he's going to go to roll call, and he'll be assigned to a beat, which he'll then go out and work that day. My fourth question was, what did the academy teach and test you on? He went to the academy for around 2.5 to 3 months. They had tests every 2 weeks on things such as criminal law, traffic codes, other things like self-defense and ethics as well. And then I asked him what were his plans for the future. He responded with he'd like to get into investigations, as his department does not have a gang department or a drug unit. Thank you.